everyone, my name is Roxanne and I think this is my first time talking in front of the camera in my vlog because I really felt like I really needed to do this because I know a lot of you are already feeling down, frustrated, hopeless, and even thinking of giving up on getting the driving license here in Dubai or in UAE. And of course, it is because you have invested so much money, time, and effort in this driving license. And yes, some of you are taking these lessons or tests in more than a year. It could be less, but in general, it takes so much time. Okay, so I got my driving license last week. So I am a new driver now. And I actually opened my file last April 17, Ramadan season. And then I took my first practical lesson on May 9. So it's like 3 weeks after I opened my file, I started my driving lessons because of schedules, and it's also Ramadan, so it took like 3 weeks before I started. But then I got it on June 29. So it's like almost 2.5 months. Not bad, right? Yes, not bad. But it was never an easy journey because I failed in Smart Yard test or parking test 7 times with the RTA alone. Okay, so for my background, I don't have driving experience in my home country. So as per RTA standard for beginners, you have to take 20 hours of lessons, excluding the retake lessons if you failed. And then after you open your file, you have to take the RTA Theory Test. It's 40 items test, so it's you're just going to take the test in the computer, and it's easy. Just watch the videos. You have options. You can attend the class on site, but I would recommend to just attend the class online so you can access this anytime, anywhere. And just a tip, just practice the RTA theory up and then just repeat it at least 5 times, and if you got it perfect, then you are good to go. And another tip, because there's 5 items for the hazard perception test, it's not included in the RTA app. So my advice to watch the videos in YouTube in My Dubai Challenge. It's the same hazard perception videos, so maybe not all will come out, but surely if you watch it one, it's not impossible to get it perfect. So on my case, I have perfect 40. So after the theory test, I schedule my simulation test. So it's fun. It's like you are doing the video games. So it's like you're also driving a real car. And after the simulation test, it's either you failed or you passed. You need to schedule for your driving lessons. And then first 14 hours you should finish. And after that one, you need to schedule for the road assessment test. So this will be your first assessment test. So it will be conducted only by the examiner in the school. And on my first take, I failed. So no major mistake, but it was all minor mistakes. And the instructor recommended me to take another 4 hours. Okay, then he said like, you're taking a limited package. So better take it because after the road assessment, you have to go to parking, then highway, then RTA road test. So there's no chance already to have more lessons. So I agree, and he's right, So I take another 4 hours lesson, then schedule another road assessment test, and this time I passed. Then next is you have to schedule for the parking. 2 hours parking, and then smart yard or parking test, it's the same. So you have to schedule for the parking assessment first. So there would be five parking maneuvers. First one is the slope test, easy. Emergency brake, it's easy. The challenge is the three: the angle parking, the garage parking, and the parallel parking. I will create another videos detailing all the parkings, but for now, those were the 3 challenges. And then I failed for the 3. So again, the examiner will recommend you number of hours for the lessons for the parking. So he gave me 2 hours, which is good. And then after taking the lessons, you need to retake the assessment. But the good thing is you will just retake for the failed parking. So in the assessment, because it will be conducted only by the examiner of the school, someone will accompany you, or maybe no one, but it's the same with the RTA exam. And then I passed for the second time, for the 3 ones, because on my first take I passed the slope and emergency. So on the second time I passed for the angle, garage, and parallel. And now since I cleared, I'm now ready to go for the RTA Smart Yard parking test. Okay, so now we are in RTA Smart Yard test. So I think it's quite different from other countries, the parking test in Dubai. And I believe it was implemented like 2 years ago only. It's called Smart Parking Yard Test because it's really smart. So even the movement of your head, if you're not looking at the rear screen, blind spot, mirrors, it will be detected. All the maneuvers are recorded in the system, and passing the test is not decided by the RTA officer or the examiner, but it will be the system who will decide if you fail or pass. So everything will be recorded. Okay, so in a car, it's full of cameras. I think at least 5 cameras inside a car. I'm not sure. So all side, left, right, back, and of course outside the car. And it has a lot of sensors. So even the steering wheel, and especially for the emergency brake, if you are not holding it tightly, you will be failed. So they can detect everything. So that's why it's called Smart Yard. So they will detect if you touch the line, even if not the tires only, but including the body of the car, and how long you took in parking in the parking bay and even getting out in the parking bay. So it's time bound. So every parking maneuvers, it has different time limit. So for garage, 3 minutes, and angle, I think 2 minutes, and parallel, I think it's 5 minutes. Actually, those minutes is long enough to complete the maneuver if you perfectly done it, especially for garage. But if you have some corrections, that time limit might be not enough. But going forward, on my experience, so on my first RTA Smart Yard test, obviously I passed the emergency and the slope test. And I failed the 3: angle, garage, and parallel. Okay, then I requested for another lesson. So for Smart Yard test, RTA Smart Yard test, it's optional if you want to request another lesson, or you can just retake the test. So that's a good thing. If you're confident to take the test immediately, then it's fine. But for me, I wanted to to have another lesson. Anyway, I'm unlimited package, so why not make use of it? So after taking the lesson, I schedule it again. And then on my second try for the RTA test, I passed the angle parking and then failed for the garage and parallel. So schedule again. I didn't take anymore the lesson because I felt like, because every practice, I felt like I was already good enough. I know the maneuvers, but I messed up during the test. So on my third try again, I failed with the garage and parallel. Took the fourth time. I passed the parallel and then I failed for the garage. So on my fifth time, before taking my fifth time, I requested for another lesson. On my fifth try for the RTA Smart Yard test, because I was so excited to finish the test and move forward, I got an automatic disqualification. Because when I get out from the parking bay, there was another car reversing because he was also getting inside the garage parking bay. And then I received a notification from the computer inside the car. You are disqualified of the test. You have to return the car on the original parking bay. So imagine that one. I haven't finished the maneuver. You took another lesson and then it takes only like 5 minutes to go for the test and then you will fail again. So imagine after taking the test, going home. So after failing the fifth time, I was really disappointed and I need an outlet to release my stress on that particular test. So that's the time I keep on searching in YouTube, FB groups, or even in online forum like Reddit, if like there's someone out there who experienced the same thing, even worse, like failing for the RTA Smart Yard test 10 times, 7 times, and if is it normal or I'm not alone having this struggle. Then I found several videos in YouTube. She was a German lady and she failed for the Smart Yard test 7 times. And another lady, she was an experienced driver in their home country and failed like 6 times as well for the Smart Yard test. And after watching those videos, I really felt motivated that okay, it's normal, I'm not alone, I have to go on, I have to finish because I have already invested so much time, effort, and most importantly, your thousands of dirhams will never be refunded to you. So you have no choice but to move forward. Okay, so for my sixth try, I positioned the car perfectly. I turn in the right time. I reverse in the right time. But I have a feeling that it might touch or I might be so close on the right side. So I made a correction. But then when I made a correction, it became worse. So again, it touched the line. It was parked like outside the parking bay. So when I entered the room to get my result, obviously I already know that I failed. Then that officer told me that you got it right, but you messed it up again. You made a correction left and right. You should have proceeded because it was already right. And then again I failed. So At this time, I booked immediately for my 7th try. I didn't take any lesson anymore, but at the 7th time, I passed. After searching online, I actually found out that majority expat here in UAE or Dubai are having the same struggles in getting the driving license. And take note, even if they have years of driving experience in their home country, they didn't manage to get the driving license in one take. So of course there are lucky ones, but still. So if you are a beginner, you are doing the right thing. It's fine, it's normal. And that's the reason why I made this video, because I'm sure right now a lot of students experiencing the same things, and this video might help them to relax, to not feel bad, and just be motivated to continue and go on. Okay, so I even talked to one of Pinoy guy, or my kabayan guy, when I was in the school. Way back, he was a jeepney driver in the Philippines for 20 years, a manual vehicle. It's a public transportation in the Philippines. And then, you know what? He took 7 months to get the driving license. Then I asked why. He said he failed 4 times in the parking test. And of course, the schedule also matters, why it will take you so much time, and the RTA schedule. So just imagine those people having experience, having a hard time in getting it. So for the new ones, it's fine, it's totally fine. And another lady from my home country, she's living in Baguio City, and we have this road, zigzag road, one of the I think they considered it as a dangerous road to drive. And again, he failed 4 times in the RTA road test. And she said, oh my God, it seems like every day I'm driving the zigzag road in the Philippines, and here in Dubai, I could not pass a test. We are having very good roads in Dubai. It's very straight, but still I failed. She cried a lot of times and feels so disappointed, but she has no choice but to have to move on. So it's totally fine. Now, moving on. I felt not so lucky on my Smart Yard test, but on my final RTA Road test. Okay, so after clearing the Smart Yard test, I took 4 hours lesson in preparation for the final road test. So the first 2 hours is same route with the lessons I have in the first 14 hours. And then another 2 hours is in the highway, so a limit of 100 kph per hour. And after that, you have to schedule for the final RTA road test. And on the day of my final RTA road test, I passed 1 time. I don't know why, but day before my final RTA road test, I know that I will pass. I have that vibes, and I can't imagine myself that going home after the RTA final road test that I failed. I know that I will pass. I'm not sure why I have that feeling, but I'm sure about it. And in my record, it was 0 mistakes at all. So see, even though I took so much time in the Smart Yard test, but hey, I got the final RTA road test 1 time, big time. And now the real challenge is in the road of Dubai. So that would be reserved for my next video, and hope it will help you a lot to just continue. I will create another videos for my driving experience, detailing some phases of the driving journey, especially for the Smart Yard test, because it's really different from the parking tests in other countries that you've seen in videos, because here they are really using the sensor, so it's the computer who will decide if you fail or test. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.